when you're left with a blank sheet of paper and you're trying to create content for yourself or for a client, it's just actually we need some stuff for social because we've got to turn up on social.
Yeah.
That's a lot harder. And if ever you've tried to sort of sit down and just come up with ideas, that's like you can't do it in like between 11 and 12 on Wednesday. I'm gonna come up with ideas for my YouTube channel. It just doesn't happen. And so I use a couple of things. One will be the people that I follow on social. So like Casey's vlogs will have inspired some sort of thought along the way. But I tend to look out for parts of videos that have like interested me and make a note of them.
Yep.
So it might be an opening, like how a video is opened, or an element within there that I really like, and I almost create a bank of those just in note form. And when it comes to things like cycling ideas, the reason I haven't uploaded for like 4 or 5 months, apart from being really busy, is that bank of ideas that I was working on just dried up, and I need to spend some time, coming up with new ideas again. So I use, you might be in the shower and go, I could do. It's like, so I've got an app on my phone called Notion,
Yes.
or even just notes on your phone. Like I just start logging them in there, and sometimes you come back to them and you're like, no, actually that's not a good idea.
Yep.
But then ideas don't come to you in an organized way, and so just having a system to just log ideas, so that
Yep.
when you go, okay, now I need to go and film a video, you can just look at that bank of ideas and be like, cool, that's the one that's jumping out at me today. I'll go and
Well, you're not starting from a point of zero, are you? That's the
exactly.
key. Yeah.
And that's where, like, people are talking about the use of Chat GPT, which I don't use. I know we've used it a bit in the marketing meetup, but it can be a great way. Give me 10 ideas for mountain biking videos, and then probably like 9 of them will be rubbish and one will be like, but it might just give you that idea to get you going. And as you say, the point of zero is the hardest.
Yeah.
Is the hardest thing. But sometimes I'll just, if it's my cycling channel, it might be that we're just riding somewhere new and I don't have a plan. I'll just clip it on and just try and make a story as we go. Other times, like when I did the trail dog video, that I had to think about the shots, like where and then create a shot list. But yeah, having an understanding of what your audience wants to see, or like what you want to be known for, and building ideas around that is really important. It makes life a lot easier. If you're writing on LinkedIn, I talk about creativity, I talk about video, I talk about community, and I talk about being human. And so all of my ideas usually link back to one of those 4 kind of content pillars. So once you've got those pillars, it makes life a lot easier to kind of.
Does the same hold true for your YouTube channel? And what I mean by that is, are you looking at it from, or how are you looking at it, I guess is the question, right? Is it from what you think the audience wants to see, or have you got in mind who the audience are, and then you're creating for them, or is it just, you know what, this is what I would like to create?
More so the latter, if I'm honest. So there was a little bit of a plan behind it, where originally what I wanted to do is ride as many trail centres in the UK and maybe in the world, and document them. So I live near Cannock Chase, and they have a trail there called Follow the Dog, and millions of people ride it every year. But the videos online were either just a video of it, so nobody talking, but just the entire trail, like 2 hours of like god awful footage. So I was like, actually, maybe I could make a personal video about which bits I like, and because I know the trails quite well. And so I then just started, because I travel a lot for work anyway, I would take my bike with me and film the trail centres whilst I was out filming as well. And so I've built up if you were to go through all the videos, there's loads of trail center reviews in there. So that works really well from a search perspective. So
Yeah.
YouTube is like one of the biggest search engines. And so if you're going to go to the Lake District and you're going to ride at Windlatter, then you're going to write Windlatter mountain biking.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, my Windlatter videos are really old now, but like I was ranking number one for Cannock Chase. I ranked in the top one or two for Windlatter. And so I was strategically picking these trail centers, and that's kind of how the channel grew. And then I just started filming other things. Like I did a bike event called the Dirty Reaver, which I did a couple of weeks ago again.
That
The
looked really
first,
good fun, by the way.
yeah, it was nuts. The first time it was wet, but the 2 years before, I think I ranked number one for Dirty Reaver as well. It's the UK's biggest gravel event.
Yeah.
Again, just took a GoPro, nothing fancy, just effectively vlogged the journey. So there is a little bit of thinking. I do tend to, if I've got a choice, I'll ride somewhere that I think people are going to want to go.
Have you been down to Gloucestershire, Forest of Dean?
I have. I did an enduro down in the Forest of Dean,
Oh, did you?
but I didn't have my camera with me at the time. And I think the weather conditions were atrocious as well. But yeah, that's somewhere like that's on the list of
Well, I
places
get
I'd like
in the
to.
summer. I come down. I'll take you to 417, which is a downhill map. It's
Yeah, I've
unbelievably
heard about
cool.
that.
And they got
Definitely.
one in the Forest of Dean. Maybe we'll do a 2-dayer.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.